What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Knuckles YouTube channel. Today we are covering the Senior Division Top 8 from the Athens Regionals that happened 2 weekends ago. And I'm excited for this. If you look at the Athens Regionals, first off, we saw that what wins, which is Mega Gardevoir Giratina, which is very interesting deck for sure. Mega Gardevoir, Giratina, but let's not focus on that right now. Let's look at the top 8. As you see, there's a ton of different decks in the top 8, and that's what I love to see. I love to see when the top 8 is so diverse and so many different decks made cut. We have Mega Gardevoir Giratina, which first off is a crazy idea. Congrats to Isaiah for doing that. Mega Mewtwo Garbodor, Turbo Darkrai, Volcanion, Vileplume, Turbo Darkrai, Evolus Garbodor, and Turbo Darkrai. Yeah, there's 3 Turbo Darkrai's, but 5 out of the 8 are different decks, and that's what makes me really excited about Pokemon and about this format, because there's so many different decks that could do well. As you see, Rayquaza didn't make it either. The straight Mega Gardevoir didn't make it either. Greninja didn't make it. And these are all viable decks in this format right now. And that's what makes this format so interesting. It's so good right now. But let's go over these decks. Let's see why did these players make top 8. And congratulate all the seniors that made top 8 as well. So, like I said, the first place winner is Isaiah Bradner playing his Mega Gardevoir Giratina deck. Now, he is going to play the Mega Gardevoir Brilliant Arrow. It does this attack does 30 damage times the amount of Fairy Energy attached to all your Pokemon. Just go to Streamline, play a bunch of Max Elixirs, get a bunch of energies on the field. Do you play Mega Turbos as well? No, just the Max Elixirs. But then he has, he's got the Double Dragons, which counts as 2 Fairy Energies. So that's really cool. And against other Mega decks, he can use Giratina with a Renegade Pulse, make it where Mega Evolutions can't hurt him. And he played the other Mega Gardevoir as well, the Despair Ray one, just in case he needs to take down Mega Mewtwo just a little bit easier. You could Despair Ray, just knock out Mega Mewtwo's and win the game fairly easily. Now, like I said, the Giratina is for the Renegade Pulse. You could Chaos Wheel as well to make it where your opponent can't play Tools, Special Energies, or Stadium cards from their hand, which could shut down certain decks like Rayquaza. If you can Giratina a Rayquaza player and make it where they can't put a stadium down to knock you out and they can't hurt you and stuff like that, that's a bad situation for them for sure. He did play a 3-1 Xerneas break as well. The Xerneas with Geomancy to get a bunch of energies on your field, which powers up your Mega Gardevoir's Brilliant Arrow. And he played Xerneas break for the live stream. It does 20 damage times the amount of energy on field. Sorry, I should know this. I played Xerneas break a lot, but it does as many energies on your field. This is really good against EX hate decks. Like, you're playing against a Regice, you could just send him Xerneas Break and a live stream for a ton of damage, take a knockout, and it's a non-EX attacker as well, so that's really cool. 2 Shaman and 1 Salamence. He even played a Salamence as well, which is it's super interesting, and congrats to him for making a very unique deck list that we haven't seen before. But the Salamence has the Beastly Fang. This attack does 50 more damage for each of your opponent's Pokemon EX. If they have 3 on the field, you could do 160. If they have 4, you could do 210, which is really strong. If your opponent Hoopas, you're basically going to take a knockout later on with your Salamence, which is fantastic. And you could Dragon Strike for 130, but that needs, I guess, 2 energies, not too bad, especially when you just Max Elixir. But at any time with Salamence, you can just Max Elixir to it and then Double Dragon and just swing for that turn to take a knockout if needed, which is fantastic. But 10 Fairy, 3 Double Dragon, 3 Sycamore, so not 4 Sycamore, he played 3, 2 Lysander, 2 N, and 1 Hax Maniac. And that's going to be all of his draw cards, just a 3 Sycamore, 2 Lysander. He did play 3 Trainers Ball to help out consistency, and he did play 2 Shamans as well. But that's really interesting, because usually you see 4 Sycamore, 3 N. We see this time he did play this 3 Sycamore and the 2 N, which did work out phenomenal for him. 4 Fairy Garden to give his Pokemon free retreat with the Fairy Energy. 4 Max Elixir to get that Mega Gardevoir powered up ASAP. 4 Ultra Ball for VS Seeker, and 3 Guardy Spearlinks, so your turn does not end when you Mega Evolve. 3 Trainers Ball and 1 Super Rod to shove back in 3 combination of Pokemon energies back into your deck. And that is going to be Isaiah's Bradner's list. Like I said, it's a very interesting deck. The whole concept is to use Geomancy, get a bunch of energies on your field, and then start swinging with Brilliant Arrows, start taking some knockouts. And with Double Dragon, this can easily be done It's kind of the same concept as Pancakes and Speed Darkrai. It just uses Fairy Energies and uses Xerneas instead. Well, I guess Pancakes does use Xerneas, but still, a really, really good concept. And congrats to Isaiah for winning. Now, in second place was Joe Ruttiget. I don't know how to say his name, but as you see, Joe did play a Mega Mewtwo deck. And we know that Isaiah played that one Mega Guardy with the Despair Ray. So you imagine this matchup's pretty bad for Joe. He probably could sneak a game in, but even then it's pretty bad for them. He did play a Jolteon. This is another interesting list that we see for the senior division. It's a Mega Mewtwo Jolteon Garbodor deck. Wow, this is pretty crazy looking. Juniors, seniors. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Hold on, do I have a brain fart? Nope, we're good. Alright. Sorry, for a second I was like, hold on. I always forget the divisions. I'm like, oh no, senior division is the one before Masters. I forgot a second that. Don't worry, I had a brain fart. Don't worry, we're good to go. Alright, let's go back to Joe's list. I do apologize. That was me just having a brain fart. I thought we were covering the wrong section at first. I thought we were covering juniors for a second, but we're still in the senior division. Okay, we're good. We're good, guys. Just forget what I just did there. All right, but we're gonna cover Joe's deck now. He made second place. Congrats to him. Played Mega Mewtwo, which is a really, 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 really strong attacker. It does 10. And then 30 more damage, times the amount of energy attached to both act Pokemon. This attack isn't affected by weakness, unfortunately. We've seen this card play multiple times. Really, really strong. It's mid-cut at multiple regionals, and it keeps popping up every single regionals in at least one age division. And this time around, it is going to be the senior division. Playing Garbodor with the Garbotoxin to shut down abilities. 2 Shaman, and 2 Jolteon. As you see, he's not going to play Hoopa, and going to play 2 Jolteon instead with the Flash Ray to make it where basic Pokemon cannot hurt this Jolteon. And that's a really interesting thing to include in his deck. I guess it's to help out against maybe just all those straight EX decks. You just easily win now. Even Garbodor, Speed Darkrai, I imagine you beat that pretty easily. Mega Quasi, you probably beat that pretty easily. All these basic Pokemon, sorry, basic Pokemon, not EX. Oh my goodness, Regice EX, basic, there we go. That's why even Garbodor is such a good matchup, because they're all basic. Sorry, I'm having a brain fart for some reason. But yeah, Jolteon is really good against all those those basic Pokemon decks. Jolteon can take them out pretty easily, unless they do play Ranger, but a lot of decks don't play Ranger. As you see, the first place list didn't play a Ranger, but that didn't matter because we know that Isaiah used the Mega Mewtwo without a Psychic to knock out these Mega Mewtwo, so that's fine. I wonder how that matchup went. It'll be interesting to see what happens. But 6 Lightning and 4 DCE. Now, since he played Lightning, he actually played the Photon Wave Mewtwo for Photon Wave 20. During your opponent's next turn, any damage done by attacks from the defending Pokemon is reduced by 30. I'd actually like to see the Evolutions Mewtwo played. And I think it has 180 HP. It could get energy out of your discard pile attached to this guy, which seems really cool. But I mean, still, congrats to Joe. I mean, Photon Wave probably can, early game put some pressure and make it where your opponent can do less damage to Mewtwo to make them last longer. Alright, so 4 Sycamore, 3 N, 2 Lysander, 1 Center Lady to heal 60 and remove all special conditions for your Pokemon. 1 Teammates as well. Wow, that is really spicy. If they take a knockout, you get Teammates for any 2 cards out of your deck. We usually don't see this in EX decks, but we see that Joe did include it in his list, which is fantastic. Obviously, it worked out very well for him. That's why he's in the finals. 2 Perilous City. One side gets bumped down to 3. The other one gets reduced by 20 from Fire, Grass, and Water. 4 Mewtwo Spirit Link, and you might be like, why 4? Because he plays a 4-3 Mewtwo, so he's not going to evolve them all. But you want to try to evolve your Mega Mewtwo's ASAP, and you need links to help do that. So he plays 4 links to help hit that maximum consistency. 4 Ultra Ball, 4 VS Seeker, 3 Flowstone for that free treat for Garbodor, and whoever else needs it as well. There's no Hoopa, so that's still very interesting for sure. 3 Mega Turbo to get an energy out of your discard pile attached to one of your Mega Evolutions. 3 Trainers Ball and 1 Super Rod. Alright, so that is Joe's list, and don't worry guys, we're not going to have any mess ups again like I did a second ago. Next up is going to be Zachary Bakari, I guess that's how you say his last name, playing the Speed Darkrai deck, which we covered a lot last time. But this list is going to be a little bit different. We know the Dark Pulse Darkrai 20, and the 20 more damage for each Dark Energy attached to all your Pokemon. This course is going to be powered up with Max Elixirs and the Evital with the Blizzwing. But we see Zachary did play the Fright Knight Evital for Pitch Black Spear. Maybe to shut down some Mega decks, spread the damage around if needed as well. And one Evital break with the Baleful Knight. It does 120, and I need to zoom in to actually see this. Can I zoom in more? We'll have to click more info. Oh, that's not the card I want to see. Come on now, Pokemon. Oh, hold on. Let's see if we can get this, guys. So click that. More info. There we go. This attack does 30 damage to each of your opponent's bench Pokemon that has any damage counters on it. Now, this is actually a really cool tech because there's one deck called Gyarados, and they put damage counters on their Magikarps. And if you get attacked with the Evital Break, you can actually get knock out all of their Magikarps in one turn and pretty much just beat Gyarados automatically that way, which is really cute. So that's a really cool thing you can do. It's also just a solid attacker. Late game, if you damage a bunch of Pokemon, you can start spreading the damage around even more and maybe take some cheap knockouts that way. But like always, 12 Dark, I think it's like pretty much a standard. 4 Sycamore, 2 Hacks. Alright, so 2 Hacks is really, really good to help you beat those Greninja decks. You know, Greninja has a giant water shuriken that sometimes gives you trouble, but with 2 Hacks Maniac, you can shut them down fairly well. 2 Lysander, 2 N, 1 Singularity, 2 Parallelicidia, 1 Reverse Valley to do 10 extra damage. 3 Belt to do 10 more damage at 40 more HP. 1 EXP share. Now this one can go probably on an Evital Break since it has 150 HP. It's a little bit harder to knock out, or you can put on Darkrai EX as well, but usually I like putting my belts on Darkrai's EXs. Alright, so 1 Flowstone, which is needed for Evital to give him free treat later on. I know you said put EXP shares on them, but that's when they're like just sitting on your bench for late game. That way they'll license up and have multiple energies on it if they take knockouts on your Pokemon. I don't know, it's always weird, the EXP share. I guess you can just put on Darkrai and just be good to go. I know some people were saying put on Hoopa and stuff like that. I mean, I guess if they're licensed up a bench Pokemon, they're not knocking out your Darkrai, so that's fine either way. But 2 Escape Rope, 1 Flowstone, and 1 Switch with 1 Super Rod. Alright, so that's Zachary's Speed Darkrai deck, or Turbo Darkrai. So next up is going to be Christian Marino? I'm not sure how to say the last name. I apologize. But a Volcanion deck. Alrighty. It actually looks like the list we covered last Saturday for Saturday tournament. That was piloted by the Junior Division champion. But let's go over this. We know Volcanion X, Steam Up, discard a fire. Your basics do 30 more damage. Or your basic fire Pokemon do 30 more damage. Baby Volcanion with the Power Heater to attach 2 energies out of your discard pile to 2 of your Pokemon. So that's great. Power Heater can put early pressure while powering up your other Volcanion X's. 2 Shaman, 1 Salamence as well, which we did talk about earlier in the Mega Gardevoir deck. But this one doesn't play the Double Dragon. It just plays like fire energies, which is fine because what you can do is you can Power Heater to evoke Salamence, and at any moment you can attack with the following turn because you can just Max Elixir and attach, and you're good to go. And 1 Hoopa to search out those Volcanions ASAP to get that strong turn 1 attack off with 11 fire energy. Alrighty, so looking at the list, we do see our first Ranger to shut down effects of attacks, which is like automatically played a Volcanion because you need to shut down your own Volcanion Heat so that way you can attack and get in the following turn. 1 Olympia, which is slowly like not becoming a staple anymore. I know back in Orlando, it was like played in almost every single deck that made cut, but now that Fright Knight Evital is dying off, you really don't need Olympia too much. Alright, 2 Scorched Earth and 1 Skyfield, and it's always interesting to see how, like what Volcanion players decide to play in their deck. Because we see some people play Rough Seas, we see some people play Skyfield, Scorched Earth, Perilous City. They later can use almost any of these stadium cards in their deck and take advantage of it, which is fantastic. But you did go with 2 Scorched Earth to discard a fire, draw 2 new cards, and a Skyfield to have up to 8 Pokemon on your bench. 3 Retrieval to get 2 energies out of your discard pile to your hand. and everything else we have seen before. Alright, so that's Christian's top 4 list, and now we're going to go to top 8. Top 8 is going to be Ethan Ethan Perez Dormatizer, I guess how you say his name, playing a Vileplume toolbox deck. Now this is I love Vileplume. It's one of my favorite guys of all time. It's just always been really strong, and it is continuing on into the season. But we know Vileplume, it shuts down all item cards, making your opponent can't play them. And the way this deck works, it revolves around using Mew EX. As we see, he only plays one. So he relies a little bit more on Ninja Boy to switch out your attackers, but Mew can copy any attacker on your bench if you have the necessary energies, which is fantastic. And if it's depending on the situation, is who you attack with. Like if you're playing against a basic deck, well, you use Jolteon for Flash Ray. If you're playing against an evolution deck, well, you can use Glaceon. Manaphy gets free retreat to all your Pokemon because of if they have a water energy attached to it. Regice is really good against those EX decks. Jirachi can get rid of special energies and make it immune for the turn. Bunnelby can get stuff back into your deck or deck out your opponent. But I might actually switch out the Bunnelby for a Giratina promo. That seems really strong. If you can, Giratina promo is going to be really good against Greninja Break, obviously, because they can't Giant Water Shuriken. And if you can pull that off with a Glaceon, you can make it where they do 0 damage. But then if the Greninja player gets out of Sound Lab, then they shut down your Giratina, and it becomes a weird kind of war. But I do like Giratina for sure. It is a cute Pokemon overall. But he played one Magearna as well. I like to use Magearna for Soul Blaster to do 120 to take a knockout out of nowhere. But it could be used for Mystic Heart, making it where it can't be affected by attacks if that does show up. Like, the main one I always look at is Jirachi, because now Jirachi cannot discard your energies. Or Froakie Bubble. Those are two different situations that are really good to help Magearna with. Alright, so for DCE, which is needed because Jolteon, Glaceon, Magearna, Regice all needed DC plus a colored energy. For Rainbow, 2 Lightning. Alright, so actually I'm going to see him not play Water and instead play 2 basic Lightning. Usually you see players play 2 Water energies, but we are going to see him play a heavier Jolteon version. I just noticed he plays 2 Jolteon, 1 Glaceon, and 1 Regice. So he is going to opt to go to the knockout basic strategy a little bit more, which is fine because going into this tournament, Darkrai was one of the hype decks for sure. So that does help you out a lot. As you see, he plays heavy supporter card because he is going to be trainer locked, and he is prepared for that. 2 Lysander, 2 Ninja Boy to swap out your basic Pokemon and attack whoever you need. And we do see the 1 Olympia, just the 1 Olympia, so you got to make sure it does count. And he played 3 Flowstone, wow. So he played the 3 Flowstone and the Manaphy. He's making sure his Pokemon have the free retreat. But with Flowstone, you have to make sure you attach it before you get down to Vileplume, obviously. 4 Ultra Ball, 3 Trainers Ball, and 2 Level Ball. So a little bit different of a Vileplume toolbox deck. Usually we see like Lugia, and we see, Flowstones and stuff like that. But we see Ethan is going to play Flowstones and no Lugia, but include a Bunnelby, which is fine. And going to play Lightnings instead of Water, which is fine because he does expect more basics, and that's why he's going to the Jolteon route instead of the Glaceon or Regice route. Alright, so next up is going to be Gibson. Tang playing another Turbo Dark deck. He did play an Evital Break as well, so 3-1 for Darkrai, 12 Dark. No Hoopa either, just playing a really consistent deck. 2 Lysander, 2 Haxmaniac, once again, to shut down the Greninja decks. 4 Via Seeker, 3 Fear Belts, and 2 EXP Share. Wow, with 2 Switch and 2 Escape Rope. And this also looks like really consistent and really strong, obviously, in my head. It doesn't play Center Lady. What else doesn't it play? It doesn't play the Fright Knight. It doesn't play... Does it play Parallel Reverse Valleys? It plays 2 Reverse Valley, no Parallel City, okay. I'm just trying to look at the difference between them. Does it play Trainer's Mill? Whoops, wrong deck. Alright. It does play Trainer's Mill, but yeah, it's just a little bit different cards, which is fine. But yeah, just a lot of 4-ofs and just make sure they can hit their stuff pretty consistent. I do like the 2 escape rope and 2 switch to switch out your Darkrai's at any moment, or switch from Evital to Darkrai. And with the 2 EXP share, I feel like you do need that. He doesn't play Flowstone, I just noticed. He doesn't play Flowstone, and instead plays 2 escape rope and 2 switch, which is fine. I actually like that more than the Flowstone, because now you can EXP share Evitals, which is great. Like I said, just another Darkrai speed Darkrai list. We covered multiple of these already, but still congrats to Gibson. That's fantastic for making top 8 in the senior division. Next up is going to be Quentin playing Evitar Garbodor, our friend that we haven't seen in such a long time. But it looks like a standard Evitar Garbodor. 3 Evitar EX, 2 of the Fright Knight, 2 Garbodor, 2 Shaman, and 1 Jirachi. For the start as discard special energy and make it immune. We see the Delinquent, the Team Flare Grunt, the Enhanced Hammer. Only 1 Enhanced Hammer instead of like the 2 that we've seen sometimes. 9 Dark and 4 DCE. If I remember correctly, a lot of lists play the 8 and 4, but 9 and 4 is fine as well. Obviously, they made top 8, so they know what they're doing. But like I said, 4 Sycamore, 3 and 2 Lysander, Delinquent, Team Flare Grunt. No Pokemon Cinderlady. But I'm going to play Delinquent instead. I think Delinquent Team Flare Grunt are fine. Like, Cinderlady is just like a luxury card. Like, you kind of need it, but it's not really necessary in your list. But yeah, everything else looks fine. Congrats to Quint for making that. And last, we have Johnny playing Turbo Darkrai as well. It looks like, oh, he actually played an Evital EX and 13 Dark. That's the 2 differences straight away I've noticed. But another Darkrai with the 1 Evital. It's interesting that they only play 3 Darkrai's. Does one play 3 Darkrai? Oh, hold on. Let me look real quick. This one plays 4 Darkrai X. Okay. This one plays 4 Darkrai X. Alright, so John actually played like 3 Darkrai, 1 Evital to probably, like you had to cut a Darkrai for an Evital. So Evital is still really strong. You just load a bunch of energy on the Evital to take a knockout if needed, which is great. We see that other people do prefer the 4 Darkrai. I was just making sure the other ones do have 4 and not just 3 with no other attacker. That would be pretty crazy. But Evital Break, like I said, can help you beat the Gyarados and overall take like late game knockouts if needed. 2 Reverse Volley, no Perilous City, 2 Hacks once again to shut down Greninjas. And this list does not play Flowstone either. Instead, going to play 2 Switch and 2 Escape Rope, which I do think is fine. You have a bunch of switching cards. As long as you get Darkrai swinging up turn 2, you're fine. If they get Lysander and Evital to stall, well, they're not knocking out Darkrai, and they get the Lysander back up to take a knockout. So that's fine as well. But there you go, guys. There's a top 8 of the senior division. I do apologize that I had that brain fart like between like round 2. I thought I was covering juniors for a second, and I'm like, hold on, what's happening? And I was like, oh, we're good. I'm just really tired right now, so that's why I made that mistake. But there you go, guys. Congrats to all top 8 players for making this with their decks. And like I said, the thing that makes me the most, I guess, the happiest is that these decks are so different. Even the 3 Turbo Darkrai's were all different. We see that John did play an Evital, the other guy played a Flowstone. The Vileplume Toolbox deck was kind of new. The Mega Mewtwo deck was really different as well with Jolteon. Mega Gardevoir, Giratina was something we haven't seen. And this is what I love the most about this format. It's so different. After every regionals, it looks like the meta does shift. Like right now, Turbo Darkrai is all the hype and what can take it down and blah, blah, blah. And also Sun and Moon comes out and what changes for that comes up as well. But guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Let me know if you like these top 8 breakdowns. And like I said earlier on Friday, we'll cover the Junior Division to see what do they have to bring to the table. But guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Alrighty, bye. Alright guys, I just want to give a quick shout out to our 3 sponsors, 60 Cards, Yeti Gaming, and the Pokemon Company International. Links to everything will be down below in the description. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Alrighty.